What is going on, everyone? Going to try something new today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone's having a great day. Pirates are off today. The minor leagues will be going here in a little bit. Yesterday was a little bit of a fun day for me because all of the games were early, even the minor league games. So I got all my stuff done, and I was able to take a night off. So that was pretty cool. When I say take a night off, I still did some stuff, but I was able to relax a lot more than usual. But like I said, today I wanted to try something new. With the Pirates being off, wanted instead of doing like a rundown and everything like that, I had that on Bucks on Deck. So I figured maybe try something a little bit different with the videos. Wanted to do a little bit of a Florida Complex League update since that's something that's not televised. We don't usually get a lot of updates on it. There's not a lot of eyes on it. Shout out to Wilbur from Pirates Prospect. Shout out to Eric Birdland who hooks us up with those amazing videos on Twitter. He's awesome. He sent me some stuff as well with for he's amazing work. So there are some eyes on there, but still some intriguing names down there for the Pirates. And you could say it's intriguing. They have 22 wins, which is 5 more wins than any other team in the Complex League. So they are by far the best team right now in there. And one of the more notable players pitching, he pitched the other day, is Michael Kennedy. He was the team's fourth-round pick in 2022, a high school left-hander, super young left-hander. He's going to be 18 years old for the entire season. So doesn't have a birthday till the end of the year. He's pitched in 24 and two-third innings so far, has a 182 ERA, 7 games, 6 of them have been starts. The strikeout rate has been incredible. He's 35.6% strikeout rate. The walks were a concern at the beginning of the year. He's 18 years old. What can you really expect? There was a brief rundown / scouting report on him written up on Pirates Prospects about Kennedy, where it kind of gauged his fastball right now between 88 and 91 miles an hour. Maybe in a lot of cases that'd be a little bit more concerning, but you would think that if you remember that there are some kids who are just drafted this year out of high school that are older than him. I think it does seem that maybe have a little bit of a smaller frame, so maybe projection wise concerned at how much velocity he grows into, but he's still 18 years old. And I guess the question for him is, should the Pirates give him a shot in Bradenton by the end of the year? Me personally, being 18, I'm sure they're going to really want to watch his innings. I think by the time the Complex League is good and done with, is probably a good stopping point for him. Because, if he has a couple more starts left in the season, you're looking at around the 40s when it comes to innings pitched. And, I Bubba Chandler threw about that, or he threw a little bit more than that. Solomito threw just a tad more than that out of Bradenton. So I don't think they're going to go too much further with Kennedy. The positive with him, though, has been, I said the control was a little bit of an issue early on. He's really started to iron that out. In the first month of the season, the FCL season, he had 11 walks in 14 and two-third innings. But he has two walks in 10 innings this month. He his last time out, he pitched 5 shutout innings, struck out 7, and didn't walk anybody. This was the time before when he pitched an inning of relief out of the bullpen. It was kind of the coming off of the break and stuff like that for the Complex League team. So trying to work everybody in, kind of like what Altoona did the other day with the mass bullpen game. So we'll see what they're doing. I know we see any kind of prospect doing anything good, and we automatically want to shoot them up to the next level, get them going and stuff like that. But I think we're dealing with it. He'll be 19 next year. He's going to be pitching in Bradenton anymore. He's had a great season. Let him just end on a high note and get some rest and build up towards next year to where maybe we can see him pitch in Bradenton for the entire season, because he'll have probably about 40 or so innings logged this year. So you can probably start getting him up into that 70, 80, 90 range. Maybe not 90, but 70, 80 innings pitch range next year. So very good start, very intriguing lefty. The Pirates don't have many left-handed prospects. I talked about it yesterday when we got word that Hunter Barco would be returning on rehab, and so it's nice to see another lefty in the system performing well because the Pirates can certainly use that. Maybe one of the more high-profile names that we knew that was going to be in the Complex League once we got the rosters on there, outside of Yordan De Los Santos, who's obviously in Bradenton now, and then even Lonnie White, who was there for rehab, is Axial Class. Tore up the Dominican Summer League, was really good, got some top 100 or top prospect recognition on ESPN, I think it was. He didn't actually make the list, but he was someone that, could make the list kind of thing, a guy to monitor. Really good strikeout rate really good walk rate last year. He's kind of carried that over this year, has a 15.8% walk rate. Strikeouts a little bit high, 17-year-old playing in the Complex League. Hasn't caught much, has been mainly hidden only as the designated hitter. I'm sure next year we'll probably see them start to push him into the catcher role a little bit more, which I'd imagine would still be in the Complex League, being that he'll still be 18. A lot of the numbers aren't great. He has a 697 OPS, but his weighted runs created plus is 98. So he's right around league average for that. I think the big thing for him this year was just to log at bats, just to get him. Obviously, the Pirates do things a little bit differently in the Complex League. They stress the backfield work and that kind of stuff almost much as game situations at that level. I think Tim Williams was the one who kind of broke that down last year on P2, how they treat each level and stuff like that. And so they value a lot of off-field work. So I'm sure him coming up stateside at 17, and he hasn't played too much, and so I imagine a lot of that's because they're just working on backfield stuff with him. He won't turn 18 until August. I think this is kind of an example of why we kind of have to hold back expectations of kids until they come stateside. And he put up like video game type numbers down there, but his batting average of balls in play was almost 500 last year. So you kind of assume that was just a blip. But I mean, every report that I've heard, I've talked to Eric Berglund down there, and he's seen him play quite a bit, and he's been pretty hyped on him. So I'm sure a lot of it's just going to be adjusting to coming over to the States and all that. And will be interesting to see how he progresses the rest of the season and probably next year as well in the Complex League. One last guy I wanted to talk about, and I will say, I don't like doing these to where I'm just kind of rattling off stats and numbers and stuff like that. I mean, anyone can go to Fangraphs really and just see how they're hitting and how they're doing. And if we pull up Eddie Rodriguez, he's another guy that you can pull up and you can see he's hitting fairly well. He's 19 years old. But I mean, it's a Complex League, so there isn't much video out there of him. There isn't much known on him. John Draker wrote a update on him. I think it was like last week or something like that. Seemed like it's one of the things about the Complex League, because the kids are so young, there isn't much power down there. The ballparks aren't always supportive of that either. So a guy who shows power potential or is already hitting for a little bit of power relative to where he's at is going to stick out a lot more. And I think that's what John really made the point of, that Eddie's kind of sticking out in that end. He has a 852 OPS right now. His walk rate is almost identical to his strikeout rate. He has a 12% walk rate to a 15% strikeout rate. So he's definitely a guy to watch. Plays the outfield and a little bit first base. So if he's already starting to develop some power, I think the Pirates can definitely use a lot more of that in the system. So he's definitely a guy that I'm going to be watching the rest of the season to see how he finishes. And he'll be one of those guys that I'll definitely be excited to get some exit velocity numbers on next year when he makes it to Bradenton. So that'll do it for the complex update. Just want a reminder that I have my own Substack now, Bucks on Deck. I'll put the link to it in the bio. We're doing really good. People jumping on board and everything like that. I really appreciate it. I love that you guys are finding it. It looks like everyone's enjoying it. Have my first premium article posted today on the Bradenton Marauders exit velocity numbers for the first half. Some interesting numbers there. Some guys who maybe we undervaluing maybe a little bit. Maybe some people who it's just interesting to see how some of the stuff breaks down whenever you go like number by number. So go ahead and take a look at that. Subscribe. I'll put the link to the article and to the Substack in general in the description below. As always, like, rate, subscribe here for my daily updates on the system. Comment below too of any guy in the complex league that's intriguing to you, anyone you're really excited to see once they move up, or anyone you have any kind of questions on, and I'll try to get to those. Everyone have a great day, and thanks for tuning in.